Hey everyone, welcome to another Horrific Vision video. You'll notice today I'm not on my priest, and there's a very important reason for this. Today's video is on a vision cleared with one mask active. Namely, I believe the mask I use is, I think it's the Burned Bridge. The Daredevil is the one I've done both of them from the Orgrimmar vision, but the Burned Bridge is by far the easier one, and it's the one that I'm going to show you here today. These are the talents I'm running. I'm not going to show you too much because if you're a DK player, you can look at it, but this is intended to work for anyone and everyone. So I'm running, you know, triple icy, 1 frozen, 2 frost whelps. I could run slightly different there, but it's just the best I have. You know, some new shit from the new raids and crafted gear. Nothing special, like really nothing special here. And essences. So I'm running Blood Major, although Essence Major is also really good, as you saw with Priest. And I've got Memory, Conflict, and Essence of the Focusing Iris Minor. On the console, I was running with this setup. So this is a left side setup, which incorporates Cheat Death. And I won't spoil whether or not we use Cheat Death or where it procs, but we do have access to Cheat Death. And notably don't have Gift of the Titans. Pretty close to having it on my DK. In fact, if you look at my mementos, I'm like really close to having it. I'm not going to run another vision until I just accumulate a few more mementos to get the upgrade. But that gives you an idea of where my DK sits. Now let's get into the video. Because I don't want this to take too long, I just want to kind of show you how I go about creating routes for my priest, because priest is a very hard class to solo one. It genuinely is. Even if you have the best gear in the game, it is objectively harder than just about, if not every other class in the game. So the goal of doing runs on my DK is 1, they're really fun, I love them, and 2, it's to get a good idea of what works, what doesn't work on a class which can afford mistakes, especially DK, because you have heaps of ways to get yourself out of trouble, which is fantastic. So let's just full screen and get this boy running. This is actually running on, goodness, this is bad quality. Okay, it's fine, it was just jitters at the beginning. It should remove the outskirts, there we go. So this is another meld skip, the same way I always do this. However, you'll see, based on my sanity left at the end, you'll see there's room for me to just kill that trash at the beginning, and it's no big deal, and just play it as if I'm not a night elf. I'm playing these 3 packs together, and you notice the mask is spawning these little pools around, you know, around the place. So that's what the affix is doing. I get stunned by the Dominator there. I icebound Fortitude out of it. That's what's so insane about DK. You have a stun break, and the most dangerous mobs in here are dangerous because they cast a stun. But yeah, basically the way that this mask works is that it will drop pools behind you. If you stand in the pools, then you will take sanity damage. It's about 15 sanity damage every half second that you're in the pool. So you want to get out of it reasonably fast. But frankly, the main reason this mask is so easy is because this isn't even the most dangerous sanity mechanic that you could find on a mob. It's actually a pretty tame mechanic. Over this, I'd probably lose like 200 to 300 sanity from it, but that's nothing. I was thinking about pulling all 3 of these packs together. Usually what I do is I blinding sleet that pack, I tag this guy while they're blinding sleeted, and then pull them into this. But I didn't have blinding sleet active, so I just played them like this. I grip this guy over, range kick on that guy. Another great thing about DK is that you have a 15-yard kick. But that doesn't work out, so I'm just cleaving down these enemies. Yeah, doing it as a 1-pack and then a 2-pack is more than fine here. Just finishing off the event. For this boss, you'll notice I have close to 600 sanity. Actually, by the time the boss pulls, it's more like 500 sanity. Yeah, this boss is really easy. You'll tend to drain like 200 to 300 sanity if you're bad. If you're good, especially as DK, you can align your burst in such a way that he basically pops before he's able to do his second shield, or before any of his shields if you pop him really well. He is going to do both his shields. Yep, we're just trying to burn through him here. Divine Torrent here. I did have AMS, but I didn't realize I did. If you pop AMS before the cast, the initial like wind up for the cast finishes, then it'll immune the entire cast and it'll stop before he even starts the channel. So I'm just going to stop for this. I'm going to move over the side. I got pretty lucky with the spawn there. Now this goes wrong. This goes very wrong, and it also really ends up not mattering at all. I kind of like stuck against that thing on the side there. It's not a big deal. But yeah, this Bone Crusher is not supposed to be pulled. Normally, I just pull that side pack that I did pull, and then this pack gets pulled as well, which is really bad. I didn't have grip up for like 2 seconds, and that made that more awkward than it needed to be. But yeah, notably, I usually just pull that those right drones with Misha, and I just cleave them down, focusing down Misha, and the other dudes just kind of die. I grabbed this chest because I noticed that I'm doing really, really well for sanity, so I think about it, I'm like, you know what, I probably can afford to just play this a little bit greedy and, you know, go for the chests. But yeah, and then you can skip both of those mini bosses, or like fake mini bosses, because they don't give sanity restore. But yeah, that doesn't work this run. I get disoriented in the pool. It seems as if the pool currently doesn't drain sanity from you if you're stunned or disoriented in it, which is really strange because it should. I nearly died to that guy just because of sanity loss, but luckily because of the elite extermination trait, it's no big deal. It's giving us the sanity back. And right here, this is perfect. I have orb for this guy. I forgot my binding for drums here, so I actually click my drums just so I don't have to think about it. But in the sanity orb, you can stand in as much crap as you want, and it doesn't matter because you're regenning it faster than you're taking it. Like a lot faster than you're taking it. And then I stand in the trap though. That was not good. But yeah, now I'm just cleaving it down with Frost Scythes. I get a good Twilight Devastation proc there. I'm only running a rank 1 Twilight Devastation, but it's still such a game changer. But if you're wondering, like, this is my first time doing a mask run in this zone, when should I be popping my first orb? If you're popping your first orb before you kill the first mini-boss, like before you kill the boss of the drag, you probably can't do a full clear. If you're able to save that orb until either just after, like just before you kill Misha, or just before you kill, you almost never use it just before Misha because you have enough sanity going into that. But usually you'll pop it, you want to pop it right before Rexar if you can. That's the perfect scenario. But if you can't do that, perfectly fine, or at least it should be. I wouldn't worry about it too much. But yeah, so just heading through this vision here, I kill, you know, that one mini boss on its own. I was thinking about chaining this, but 1, Patrol's in a bad place, and 2, I have no AoE burst available, so I just play this slower, and it's like really not an issue at all. And you can see these pools behind me, they're not even affecting my run, like, at all. Like, this is a 1 mask run, and it feels like a 0 mask run. Like, I don't have comms on for this, but if you could hear my comms, all you're hearing is me talking about how stupidly easy this is. I forget to do these totems. This is actually really embarrassing. I double back, grab this totem, and then I skip this totem. I'm looking for the other chest, by the way. I find it. So there's a chest here. I grab this. And then I'm like, well, yep, we'll do these packs together because they're, you know, really easy. There's 2 ways to play this zone, by the way. I end up playing it the safe way. If you are doing it at a really high mask level, or if you're just playing it as a tank or something, then you probably want to play it the hard way. Now, obviously, I try to click this here. I'm like, of course, I can't click it. And I go back, and I can't click that one either because I forgot one of the totems back there. So I guess while I'm going back there, I can talk about this. Is that, yeah, you pull this area in one of 2 ways. It's very similar to the other area, actually. So there are 6 pools in this zone. So you have to kill the mini-boss first, but then once you've killed that mini-boss, there's 6 pools. You either play them in pairs of 2, or you play them in triples. They're pretty easy to play in triples because they happen to be nicely clumped together, especially the last three are very close together. I AMS that first Hopelessness, by the way, so I only have to deal with one. But I actually kill him during his second Hopelessness cast, like before it finishes, so I skip that Hopelessness. And it's the same for the right zone as well. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's 6 packs in there, technically. If you include the first mini-boss as a pack and that side mini-boss in the room as a pack. There's essentially 3 packs in there as well. So, I mean, it's 6 packs in there as well. So in both of the zones, you either play them as 3 triples, or you aim to either play them as 3 triples, or you aim to play them as, 2 triples or 3 doubles. Those are 2 easy players. I do a reasonably big pull here. It's a triple pull of that first dude, the 2, strong dudes. I played my sanity really, really to the edge here, but I have cheat deaths, so I feel like the risk is worthwhile. I get to this Void Craze Hulk, and I'm taking heaps of sanity damage, but it doesn't matter because I have an orb down. This Void Craze Hulk, if you can play it with an orb, do. If you're in this zone and you get to this Void Craze Hulk and you have 500 sanity left, and you haven't done the other mini boss yet, go do the other mini boss first. Then you can come back to the Void Craze Hulk and pop your orb on the Void Craze Hulk, and you lose less sanity that way. You gain more benefit from your orb that way. I used my kick on cast there, so I just get rid of that. Super easy. And then in these lost zones, I found in Rexar's zone, you, regardless of whether or not you have Shadow Meld, because initially I thought, oh, of course you just Shadow Meld that, and it makes it super easy. And even if you have Stealth, I would still argue, unless it's a really high mask run, that you play Misha plus the bugs on the right, then you play the mini boss, the second mini boss. I think it's called the Hive Mind or something, and then you play that pack that's on top of where the totem spawns after Rexar. So that's a 3-pull zone. However, if you're feeling confident or you're playing a tank, you can do that. Those second 2 pulls, the second and the third pull, you can play those together. That's actually not too hard to do. There's no way you play Rexar into the other 2 pulls. But yeah, you could definitely do it the other way around. But yeah, as you can see, I have 600 sanity left and an orb. Now I'm looking for a chest here. I'm going to skip ahead because I spent ages looking for a chest, and in the end, spoiler, I really can't find it. So I just head back. And then in that left zone, there's, let me count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pulls. So that's it's by far the longer of the zones if you know what you're doing. If you play all the zones quote unquote optimally, it's the longest zone, because there's only so much you can skip, and it is a lost zone, so it's naturally going to be harder than the other ones. I pop an orb on here. By the way, if you have the ability to pop an orb on Thrall and you don't kill Thrall, it's because you're bad. Genuinely, it's because you're bad. Thrall, you only need 300 sanity for this guy. This guy's really easy. The only thing is those huffers, those boars at the beginning, they can be a little bit rough, especially if you're not running in a group. What I would recommend is lusting on Rexar and then lusting on Thrall. I didn't have lust up for this guy, but that's because I'm running super, super fast here. Back to that other lost zone though, the one in the back left that has 8 pulls. You either play that in 4 pulls or you play it in 3 pulls. You can't really play it in 2 pulls. That's way too ballsy. But you can play it either with 4 doubles, or you can play it with 2 triples and a double. Those are your options. Or you can play it a bit weird with a single on the right, a couple of doubles. But yeah, you see there, that's a 1 mask run. So that Mask of the Burn Bridge. By the way, after you complete a run with a mask, you get access to that mask as a cosmetic. I didn't even realize I actually had the Daredevil one. I didn't realize because I'd done the Daredevil run earlier. And by the way, That one came within 8 sanity of me losing, in contrast to this one where I had about 1300 sanity leeway. So if you're like, which mask should I use, and it's Orgrimmar week, the answer is Daredevil. Daredevil is, the answer is Burning Bridge. Burning Bridge is way easier. But I hope that helped you guys out as to, kind of how that mask works, how you do it as a DK, if there's any DK players out there, and for like how I'm kind of coming up with and plotting out these routes, because as you saw there, I had a fair bit of leeway on my DK. If I wanted to, I could have gone around as I was clearing the vision and like marked the packs kind of like on like a notepad or something as to where they were, or on a pane or whatever, on some kind of document. But I've done this vision like at least 20 to 30 times across all my characters, so I've got a pretty good idea of where everything is, as well as what I can and can't play together, at least generally speaking. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. There will hopefully, because I did fail one run this week trying to get a mask on my priest, there will hopefully be a run on my priest, one mask run on my priest coming out before the end of the week. That's the plan. If I can do that, I'd be very happy. But until then, I wish you all the best. See you later.